Today you're going to learn why you don't need to pass to the other side to solve equations. Okay, so we're going to see what is the strategy or what is the appropriate way to see the solution of equations. I know sometimes some people will say that you need to pass to the other side and that stuff, but the real thing is that you need to learn that you're not passing to the other side, that you're applying rules to simplify equations and properties of equalities. This is what we're applying. And what is the properties of equalities? The property of equality you need to have in mind is that any process that you work on one side of the equation should be done on the other side of the equation. In this case, you can see this equation in which we have a term that is multiplying the x. We can call this name the coefficient, and a term that it's adding, but it's independent, so we call it the independent term, equals to a number. When you have this situation, so the idea is that you should remember apply anything that you do on one side, you have to apply it on the other side. So let's see how to do it. In this case, we're going to take into account that this term, this plus 2, is like giving us problems here to have the x solved. So what I'm going to do is to subtract 2 to each side of the equation. So what I'm going to do is just 2/5 x plus 2, and now I'm going to subtract negative 2 here, subtract 2, and on the other side, if I do it on one side, I need to do it on the other side of the equation. This is the property of equality that we're applying. So 2 minus 2 is going to be 0, so 0, bye-bye, and the answer here will be 2/5 of x equals negative 10 minus 2 is going to be negative 12, easy peasy, as simple as this. And now you need to think how to rid of this number that is multiplying. So one way to see it is that if you're multiplying a number, so you can divide by the same number, so the division is going to give you 1. So you can do it on both sides of the expression. But in this time, you have a fraction. And remember that dividing by fractions is just the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we're going to just write the reciprocal of the fraction. The reciprocal of the fraction in this case is, remember, reciprocal is just changing numerator and denominator, so it will be 5/2. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by 5/2. Okay, so I'm going to put 5/2 times 2/5 of x equal minus 12. And remember, anything that you do on one side of the equation should be done on the other side. This is the property of equality. So I'm going to multiply it here. Now it's up to you to simplify the expression. 5/2 times 2/5. Obviously it's going to be 1, so this should be x. And here minus 12 or negative 12 times 5 divided 2 is just, you can divide 12 by 2, it will be 6. Negative 6 times 5 is 30. And here you have your equation solved. As you can see, what I applied was properties of equalities. If I subtract on one side, I should subtract on the other side. If I add on one side, I need to add on the other side. Okay? Some people, maybe you're part of the students that already know this property of equality. So when you solve a problem, maybe you just say, hey, I'm going to add both sides by 5. So I'm going to immediately pass to 8 plus 5. Because you're adding on both sides by 5, you know that this part is going to be 0. It's okay? It's okay if you want to do it quickly. Then you can say, okay, that will be 3x equals 13. And then you can say, okay, but I know that I'm going to divide by 3 on each side of the equation. So obviously you will know that this will be 13 over 3. Okay? That's kind of the quickest way to do it. It's okay for you, but remember, it's not passing, it's dividing each side by the same number. This is very important, especially because when you work on inequalities, you're going to use it. So this is the appropriate vocabulary that you need to use. Maybe as an exercise, you can finish working on this exercise. So just tell me in the comments the answer to this equation, and I hope that you have an excellent day. I hope that you understand the basic idea of how to solve equations, and you can look at me in the next video. Have a nice day. See you. Bye bye.